Hey, this is Kristen Alderson, and you're listening to the WSE Lounge.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the WSE Lounge. As always, I am your host, Brian Vaughn. And at this time, I want to welcome to the show country music singer Stephanie Grace. Welcome to the show, Stephanie.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I want to let the fans out there know if you have any comments or questions for Stephanie Grace during the show, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will get to them, and I'll ask Stephanie the questions and comments that you have. So just direct them in the comment section below. When did you know that you wanted to be a singer?
Well, I knew at a pretty young age that I enjoyed singing. I mean, when I was 4 years old, I picked up an egg beater in the kitchen, and I would sing into it like it was a microphone. And I sang in the school choir in first grade, and I was always just super into singing. But I was always really shy, which is hard to believe when you think you're a rock star at 6, 7 years old. But I wanted to perform in front of people, but was terrified to for the longest time. And in first grade, I came home from school, and I told my mom I wanted to sing in my school talent show, and I was terrified to do it, but I got up there, and honestly, it was just that 3 minutes on stage that made me realize, I want to be a singer. I love this. I love the feeling I get on stage, and yeah, for me, that's all it took.
So you basically just got struck with the music genre whenever you got up on stage and you performed. I mean, you knew right then that that's what you wanted to do, and then it just went from there.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, 7 years old, it's a pretty young age, but when I started, like I said, singing around the house when I was 3, 4 years old, and in preschool and kindergarten, I was always so shy, and most of first grade super shy until I got up there, and the whole school was just like, oh my God, like we had no idea she even could sing or even wanted to with how shy I was in school. But yeah.
Wow, did you ever do like, now I've heard most singers do this before they realize they want to be a singer. Did you ever have like the hairbrush and sing, like pretend like it was a microphone and sing into the hairbrush?
Yeah, see, for me it was an egg beater, but I also did the hairbrush in the mirror too.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
So I actually heard that or actually read that you actually started writing your first song at the age of 8. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I first attempted songwriting at 8 years old, and it didn't really work out, to be honest. At 8 years old, I got really frustrated with myself, trying to write a song and just thinking it was really crappy. And so I kind of that's when I took my first stab at it. And I kind of put it aside for a little bit. And then a couple years later, which, I don't know if you read the whole story about Miss Taylor Swift, but when I was 10 years old, 9 or 10 years old, I won a singing competition in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and for our country radio station. And the prize was to sing one song before the opening act at this big fall festival. And this was in 2006, and that year the opening act was Taylor Swift. And she was just getting her start. She was like 16 years old at the time. And she, when she got done singing, she came back to her autograph tent and told her people, like, I want to meet that little girl that was up there singing before me. And this, honestly, I will never forget this whole experience because Taylor was so genuinely kind, and the fact that she wanted to take the time to talk with me, and she asked me, she's like, do you write your own songs? And, I was 10 years old, I was like, I really don't think I can do that. I've tried, and it's hard. And she's like, it's not hard. You just got to write about what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're going through. and you can turn those thoughts and feelings into songs, and that really resonated with me. And I can remember sitting in the audience during her set and listening to her talk between songs about what she wrote her songs about. I mean, she's so open and really doesn't hold back with names and everything in her songs, and that really inspired me. So I can remember like going home that day being like, okay, well, I have school tomorrow and I'm not looking forward to, that math test and or what about those mean girls who gossip? And I just sat there and wrote about those things and was able to turn those thoughts and feelings into songs, just like she said. So it took me till about 10 years old and that really amazing experience with Taylor Swift to get into songwriting. But yeah,
That's
it's pretty cool.
that's incredible because you actually answered my question. I was going to ask you what it was like to meet Taylor Swift, and you just answered that one for me. What was it like for you opening up for Taylor Hicks and John Michael Montgomery and the Charlie Daniels Band? I mean, what was those experiences like? I mean,
those experiences to me are such blessings. Like, I'm so blessed to be able to have had those opportunities, because for me, those are the people that I look up to and that I listen to on the radio, and being able to take the stage before them is cool. But for me, it's always the behind the scenes stuff that I get to see, and getting to 9 times out of 10 meet the act. That's always super cool. I opened for Scotty McCreery back in 2013, and I can remember we were both backstage, and I saw him, and I was kind of freaking out a little bit, and he actually approached me and was like, "Hey, I'm Scotty McCreery," and I'm like, "Oh my God, I know who you are." And he thanked us for opening the show, and it's incredible, just getting to face meet these artists and see what they do before their shows and how they prep and everything. I mean, I saw Easton Corbin and Jim Shorts about to hit the shower when we opened for him. That was pretty cool. And
wow.
the Charlie Daniels Band, we got to see like the lovely display of all his fiddles backstage. That was absolutely incredible. So I've been very blessed to have these opportunities, and it's always a neat experience. Very, very rewarding, and I learn a lot.
Well, I gotta say, now you're 19, or are you older now? Because I read in your biography you're 19, so I didn't know.
No, that's correct. I'm
Okay.
19, but I'm going to be 20 in November, so I guess that'll be here before we know it.
Oh
But
yeah,
yep,
it
I'm
will.
currently 19.
It will be. Time goes by fast. At the
It
age of
does, man.
at the age of 19, though, I mean, I guess, I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, but I'm going to tell you this. I guess that you could actually be considered in some form that of Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift, she started in the music industry at a very young age, and she got the rub from a lot of these artists and stuff, opening up for them at different concerts and stuff. And I mean, you're basically doing the same thing, that Taylor was at a very young age, opening for all these artists and stuff, and getting the feel of the studios and the concert touring and all that. I mean, that's got to be absolutely amazing.
It really is, and what's so neat is that the event that Taylor was at that I got to sing right before her, she was the opening act, and that was in 2006, and then in 2012 I came back to that fall festival as the opening act, and it's just so neat. One, that someone from our area, she grew up 20 minutes from me,
Uh-huh.
that someone from Berks County, Pennsylvania, went on to just kick butt in the music industry, and it really has paved the way for other young artists. And like I said, we're of course trying to follow in her footsteps. It's just incredible, and it's so neat what she's done. And like you said, she got her start opening for a lot of different people, and it's so neat that I'm starting to do that a little bit, and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, she's wonderful, and like I said, it was neat to be able to meet her before she got super duper big. I was able to talk to her.
Well, I know it's not possible to audition for American Idol because American Idol has went off the air. But have you ever thought about auditioning for like America's Got Talent or The Voice?
You know what? A lot of those shows, I will be completely honest with you. I enjoy watching the shows, but as far as I actually tried out for The Voice. Let's see, it was 2 years ago,
Uh huh.
and there's so much that goes on behind the scenes with those shows, and it's discouraging to a lot of artists. I, for one, did not let it get to me, but basically there's so many different rounds of auditioning you got to go through before you get out to LA for the chair turning round. And I was one audition away from going out to LA, and I can remember being very grateful that it didn't work out because I kind of would have had to have dropped everything and been out in LA for months and months and months, and you can't really, like, you're in contracts, or you can't even really talk about your experiences until it's not really relevant anymore. And it's a really grueling process, honestly. I give so many artists credit who go through the TV shows like that, because there's a lot that goes into it. And for me personally, I don't see that working for me. But again, I really enjoy watching the shows. I don't see me going that way, but I mean, you never know. Never say never.
Well, would you say that there's a lot of politics and stuff that goes on behind the scenes and stuff that the audience doesn't really see on the TV?
What was that?
Would you say that there's a lot of
Oh,
politics and stuff that
yeah.
goes on behind the scenes that the audience really doesn't see on TV?
Yes, absolutely. That's a very good way to put it. I mean, like a lot of things in life, there is kind of that stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and it's tough, and like I said, it can be very discouraging, but you keep a positive mindset, and you stay on the path, and you stay focused, and don't let any of that crap get to you. But yeah, a lot of crap that goes on behind the scenes.
I want to let the fans know to tune into the WSE Lounge right now on Facebook Live. I'm interviewing country music singer, recording artist, songwriter Stephanie Grace. You can leave your comments below if you have any comments or questions, and I'll be sure and direct them towards Stephanie. Who would you say that were your inspirations growing up? In the music industry, and even in your own life. I mean, who was your inspirations? I mean, not even a celebrity or anything.
Honestly, I mean, when I really first got into music, I listened to a lot of Disney Channel. Like, I was really big into Hannah Montana and Hilary Duff and the Cheetah Girls and stuff like that. And they were inspirational to me because I'd see them on TV, and it looked so fun and glamorous to be on stage, and that's kind of where I got that desire, just through watching these stars on Disney Channel. But when I really started getting into music and actually performing and doing my thing with that, I was really, really big into Shania Twain. I love how country and pop she is. And Martina McBride was definitely an influence starting out. I mentioned that contest I won to be able to open for Taylor Swift. The song I won, or the song I sang that I was fortunate enough to win the contest with, was Broken Wing by Martina McBride. And I always used to sing her songs in competitions and stuff. And Martina McBride is just such a class act. Like, to this day, I thoroughly enjoy her songs, her interviews. She's just absolutely incredible. And of course, Taylor Swift was a big direct influence and direct inspiration starting out. And as far as like personal inspirations, my friends and family have been so insanely supportive from the moment I came home from school and said I want to sing in my school talent show. And that's just what's really fueled me to keep going with this. Just the tremendous support from friends and family and fans I've met over the years that they've just become friends and like family to me, and they're very inspirational, and I've been very blessed.
That's wonderful. I wanna ask you, your single "Loser." Now, I know it's about bullying and standing up for yourself and all that. I think that's a great song. I watched the video earlier, and I think it's really good. How is it? How is it choreographed and all that put together? Because a lot of times I'll be watching music videos and I'll see like the storyline or whatever the music video going on, but then I'll still see the singer singing. So how is that done? I'm just curious on that.
There is a lot of pre-planning that goes into it. The Loser music video for me was I'm pretty sure that was my first music video. And I learned a lot I had a lot of those questions too at first. I'm like, how exactly does this all work? So we basically had a storyboard, and it was just this very thick packet that second per second described what was going to be happening. And we narrowed down like the locations and where these things would be taking place and how many people would be there and what the people would be doing and then of course the scenes where I would be singing. And it's funny for most music videos you're kind of just singing along with yourself, so your lips are moving at the same time. And so that was kind of weird. Like if you watch the Loser music video, I'm singing while all the kids are in the hallway and stuff, and it was
Yeah.
neat. I went back to my middle school, Boyertown Junior High West, to film that scene. So I'm just kind of like standing there against the locker while a bunch of my friends were extras in the videos and the video, and they were just kind of like walking back and forth as if it were a school day, and I'm sitting there singing along with myself, and it was really awkward, not gonna lie. and, but I learned a lot, and what's neat though is the end of the video where it's the big concert, and like throughout the video I'm singing in this empty auditorium, and by the second verse there's like 3 or 4 people in the auditorium, and then by the end of the song the auditorium's packed with fans that are so ecstatic and into the performance, and none of that was actually staged.
Oh
I'll never
wow.
forget this. We had a concert planned around the time of the music video, and I think we had like just released the song "Loser" like a month or two before, and just the hype that we got from just the whole area and online. I was like, we got to do this music video, and we have this concert coming up. When we sing it live, why don't we film scenes for the music video? Like the big concert portions we'll get at this actual concert. And it was really crazy because when it's not a staged situation, like you really can't control like what's gonna happen. I mean, the one chick in the front row could have been like picking her nose or something, and
Yeah.
like, what can you do? Which thankfully the girls in the front row were taking selfies and reaching out their hands, and it was amazing. Like we were very blessed with the way it all kind of worked out and fell into place. But yeah, the overall music video, it took I think like a couple months for us to just nail down everything, and it's always neat to go back and watch. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, a lot of pre-planning, and like I said, second per second, we storyboard exactly what's going to happen, and then we make it happen.
Well, I'm just thankful that there wasn't anybody in the crowd that was gonna pick a fight with anybody and get in a fight and fight each other
I
or
know, right?
or throw food and have a food fight. I mean that would have been terrible.
For sure. Like we were pretty fortunate that none of that happened because you never know.
I know that a lot of people think that they go to music concerts or whatever, and they see the performer get up on stage and they see them sing or whatever, and they think, well, all they got to do is they got to bring their instruments and everything and their songs and get up there and sing. But I know that there's a lot more that actually goes on behind the scenes that the fans don't see. That there's a lot of prep work, that day to go into rehearsal and get ready to sing, and then before that day, you gotta get all your stuff together, get all your material together, and make sure you're singing, all the songs that you're going to sing in order, and you got to do all that. I mean, so I know there's a lot of work that goes into that. Can you tell the fans out there what kind of preparation goes in it for you, and how long it actually takes for you on having to rehearse your songs and everything beforehand?
Wow, thank you so much for saying all that. Because I can remember especially in middle school and high school, a lot of kids would work, at the dev shop or at McDonald's or whatever, and they would be kind of like complaining about their job. And then anytime I would complain, they'd be like, "Oh, stop! All you have to do is get up there and sing." It's just like, no, I swear, like there is so much more that goes into it. I mean, singing is actually like it's the fun part, like,
Yeah.
when you finally can just get up there and perform, and it's everything leading up to that moment that is, it's a lot of hard work and a lot that kind of goes into it. And for me personally, like I'm currently not signed to a record label. I'm not working with any companies. So everything that a record label would be doing, me, my band, and my family are all doing, all on our own. And people, like, everything from like planning out our set list, to designing and selling merchandise, to bookings and fan mail and Facebook, social media, like everything is run through us. And you know what, to me it's just all the more rewarding to know that when I step foot on stage, like, all the hard work definitely is totally paid off, and it's amazing. But yeah, it's there's kind of a lot that does go into it. Like for example, when we opened for the Charlie Daniels Band, that was May 2015, so last year,
Uh-huh.
and we knew about that show for 9 months in advance, and I was not allowed to tell anyone until about 6 months in advance, I think.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so for 3 months, I was not allowed to tell anyone that we were opening for the Charlie Daniels Band. So as you can imagine, those are like the longest 3 months ever. But then once we finally announced it, I had 6 months to prepare, and we rehearsed probably once or twice a week for the couple months leading up to the show, and just really put a lot of thought into what our set list was and how it was all going to flow together, and making sure we met the time. Like I didn't want to go a minute over or a minute under. And of course, like merchandise, like, what t-shirts are we going to be selling tonight? Do we need to order any new CDs? And all the promo stuff that goes into it. Like, we did a lot of interviews and a lot of press stuff for that, and all of that was kind of run through, like I said, me and my family, and we're all just kind of a team, and it's awesome. And yeah, again, thank you so much for saying that, because, it is easy to think like, oh wow, like you just got to get up there and sing, and it's a blast. And you know what, it absolutely is a blast. Like, I'm so blessed to be able to do this, but there's hours and hours of rehearsing and emails and just planning, and there's a lot that goes into it.
Well, you're very welcome. I'm just telling the truth, because I know there's a lot of planning that goes into it and everything, and I think it's great that you have a family that supports you and helps you out with getting all that together and everything. And I think that's wonderful to have, because some families out there, they just they just don't care, about whatever whatever, no matter what field you're in, whether it's in singing or acting or whatever field you're in, some families out there, they're like, okay, well, you go on and do your own thing. We're gonna just go and do our own thing. I mean, it's like they don't really have compassion for it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, like I said, I've been so blessed because it's tough when you don't have that support because especially at my age and the last 10 years of my life, I think back on these 10 years and it's just like, you're trying to find yourself, you're trying to find your passions, and now that I graduated high school last year, now it's like you're looking at what you want to do for the rest of your life, and there's a lot of searching and thinking hard about it that goes into it, and you really do need that support through those times, and I've been so blessed that I have that through family and friends, and like I said, they fuel me to keep going. And I mean, I'll never forget the very first singing competition I entered. I was backstage crying because I was so terrified to get up there and sing and compete and just get up there and do it. And I literally was just gonna go home. And I can remember the MC came backstage and brought my mom back, and my mom sat me down and she was like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I'm just so scared. Like, I don't think I can get up there. I don't think I can do this." And she was like, "You know what, Steph? Why not get up there and do it? What's the worst that could happen? And you know what? If you hate it, you get up there and it's like the worst 3 minutes of your life, then you never have to do it again." And I can remember that because honestly, there's parents who either don't support or there's parents that are too pushy. And my parents, God bless them, have never ever been pushy. I mean, she said, if it's the worst 3 minutes of your life, you never have to do it again. But just go up there and give it all you got. Have fun with it. And when I got up there, I loved it. Ended up winning the competition, and it just kept going from there. So just passion and just the overwhelming amount of support and just genuine love has been, like I said, what's fueled me to this point. And like I said, I've just been so blessed, and it's wonderful. So
That's awesome. I know that you had to be nervous, going up there on stage for the first time. But I think it's kind of like when you get on stage, once again, no matter what field you're in, whether it's singing or acting or whatever, whenever you get on stage and everything, and you're nervous, once those few minutes pass, it's like you go into a new genre, and you just get comfortable with it, and you become natural with it, and then you just go with the flow, and you make magic.
exactly. It honestly, like, it takes everything leading up to that moment, and then once you're there, it's just like, hey, this is home. This is it. Like, I got this. It's all good. I'm having fun, and it's awesome. I can remember a couple of years ago, I did a showcase in Nashville, and this one guy in the audience, where his seat was, he could kind of see backstage.
Uh-huh.
And I can remember he came up to me after the performance, and he's like, "It was so incredible to watch you backstage, just looking absolutely terrified and like jumping up and down and looking all nervous. And then the second you got out there, you just looked right at home and so happy and comfortable and confident." And I'll never forget him telling me that, because it's just like, I'm so not confident, but the second I get up there, something just kind of takes over, and you just enjoy every second of it.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly how it happens. Now, I mean, not in all cases, because there are some cases that I've seen on these like, once again, America's Got Talent or The Voice or even American Idol. These people go up there to perform, and then the nerves just get the best of them, and then that doesn't always pan out that way.
Yeah, that's always so. I can't be completely naive here and act like that doesn't happen or that hasn't happened to me, because absolutely it has. I mean, I've had those situations where I get up there and it's like, oh, it's fine, but then every once in a while, like that's human. It happens to everyone, and you can't let it get to you. When I was 12 years old, I had to do the national anthem at I forget what the event was, to be honest, but I can remember it was a very intense moment. And with the national anthem, there's such a stigma with that. Like, oh, don't forget the words.
Yeah.
It's probably the most intimidating song for any singer of any genre to have to sing, because it's our nation's song. Like, ain't nobody want to screw that up.
Yeah.
So when I was 12 years old, I got up there and I actually didn't forget the words, but like the nerves just literally got the best of me. And I was singing a cappella, so it was like all focus on me. And I forget what even happened. I think my voice just kind of cracked, and I couldn't really hit any of the high notes, and it was just an absolute train wreck. And I can just remember like running off the stage crying. And it happens. It's totally human for those moments and for those awful and embarrassing things to happen. And the neat part though is that you always have to kind of just be like, it is human, it happened, but you know what, I'm gonna get it next time. And not gonna lie, that did kind of scar me for life a little bit, and to this day I'm still pretty scared to do the national anthem.
Yeah.
But like I said, you just get up again and you go for it again, and you don't let it get to you. It's tough though.
Well, I have to agree with you on that. You don't want to mess up the nation's song.
Pressure.
Yeah. I mean, and also, and I know when you do that, you're featured on the big screen so that everybody can see you. So.
Yeah.
I mean, so that just makes the nerves even more out there. You're like, okay, I got to make sure I get this right down T and right down pat, because if not, I'm going to make a big fool of myself, and everybody's going to be laughing or booing me out of here.
Exactly, and I think, didn't Luke Bryan have the words like on his hand the one time? And since he was on the big screen, like everyone saw him just kind of like reading the words on his hand. Yeah, you can't win,
Yeah. And also the other song, what's that song? America the Beautiful. You also got to be careful on that one too.
Yeah, but honestly, any patriotic songs, because there's such a there's pressure there, like, and rightfully so. You really want to honor the nation and do the song justice, and that's always tough.
Yeah. Also, I really wish that I don't know how you feel on this particular subject, but I wish that they would put the Pledge of Allegiance back in schools and stuff, because this nation is one nation under God, and that's what it should be. And I don't know why they've taken that out of schools and stuff, but I mean that's just my opinion on that.
No, I agree with you 100%. 100%. And we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's so much controversy nowadays. I mean, everything's a Facebook fight, and everything's a big media blowout, and it's just such a shame that like everyone's offended by everything. And
I know. I know. I mean, it's really ridiculous. I mean, you can't say anything, post anything. I mean, you have to really read through the lines and stuff, and and look through, and you have to think. You have to actually. They say think before you speak. You have to do that, but you also have to think before you post now. Because you have to say, well, if I post this now, is this large majority over here going to get mad, or is this going to start an uproar? So, I mean,
absolutely. that's social media nowadays. Like you said, you really have to think before you post now, and you really gotta think like, could this offend anybody? Could this be taken the wrong way? And that's the thing too with technology. Sometimes like even texting, tone can be taken completely wrong.
Yeah.
Like you could be joking or sarcastic, and people take you seriously. And
I know. It's like if you're texting somebody on whether text or messenger, and they look at it and they say, well, they are mad at me, but you didn't even mean it that way. But it's just the way that the texts come out, but you didn't mean it that way.
Yeah, but yeah, it's so frustrating, and like, what can you do? Like this is the world we live in now. Everything's done via text and over the internet, and it's tough. I mean, thank God for emojis. I can at least send like a laughy face.
Yeah, I know.
A tongue sticking out, or
yeah. Well, I would ask you what the biggest audience is that you've ever performed in front of, but I think you've probably already did that when you performed in front of the audience of Taylor Swift and John Michael Montgomery and all them.
Yeah, what's really cool is the biggest audience was actually the biggest show, which was cool for me personally, the one where I opened for Taylor Swift, and that was at Fall Fest like I said, in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and there were somewhere between 35 and 40,000 people there.
Wow.
And it was, oh my goodness, I of course was backstage crying before I had to go on, and it just freaked me out so much. And like I said, when I came back in 2012 as the opening act and got to do that gig again, I think there were close to 35,000 people there that year. I can remember just standing there backstage. I'm like, oh my God, I feel like 9-year-old Steph right now. Like, I am so freaking out. But then once I got up there, there were so many people that they all looked like ants. So I was just like, okay, Steph, you're just thinking of a bunch of ants. It's all good. And it didn't even really faze me, because it was just like, it's a bunch of ants. As long as I didn't recognize the fact that those were thousands of people, it was all good.
It kind of reminds me. I mean, I know there wasn't that many people, but if you've ever seen the show Full House,
yes.
it kind of reminds me of the episode when it was Michelle. She wanted to be Yankee Doodle Dandy, and then her friend came in there, and he auditioned last, and he became Yankee Doodle Dandy, and they went on stage to do the play, and then when they did the play, the little boy doing Yankee Doodle Dandy, he got nervous, and he went backstage. He said, Michelle, I can't do this. And she said, yes, you can do this. She said, I can stand up there and be the Statue of Liberty. And she said, you can do this. She said, we need you. And so then he went back out there after she gave him a pep talk, and he did good and everything, and he did the Yankee Doodle Dandy, But
that was a good episode.
Yeah, it was. And I want to let the fans out there know that have any comments or questions, please leave them below in the box. And I also want to let y'all know that sometimes during the live podcast, I do not see the comments for some reason. And after the show, I go back and I do see them for some reason. So I don't know why that happens. But if you've left any comments in the comments below, and I have not seen them, I do apologize. But so far, I've not seen any. But if y'all have any questions or comments, please leave them for Stephanie, and I'll be sure and ask her. If you were not a singer, what would you be? Would you be anything else, or do you think singing is all that you'd like to be?
I will be completely honest with you. It has always been singing, and even in middle school and high school, when we had to do those career portfolio things, and I remember we had to do this one project in middle school. What the heck? I forget what class it was for, and it was you had to pick the profession you want when you grow up, and they were and the teacher, I'll never forget this. She was And make sure you guys, you have to pick a realistic career. You can't pick pop singer or NFL player or, and I was sitting there like, what on earth am I going to pick? Like, I had no clue. And I ended up picking like journalist or something like that because I was like, well, it's songwriting. I'm really into writing. And in middle school, I had a journalism class that I was really into. So I was like, I guess I'll be a journalist. But in those moments, and so many times now that I'm out of high school, sometimes I just sit there and I'm like, what would I be doing with my life right now? And every single time the answer is the same. I have no idea. And sometimes that's scary. But overall, it's great because it just pushes me and pushes me to give it all I got. And it's it's tough sometimes, but I'm all for it, 100%. And I love that so far I have been able to do this, and we'll see if I can take it as far as we can. But yeah, the answer to that is I really don't know. I mean, maybe with a lot of my songs, and you mentioned "Loser" with the anti-bullying message. I go to schools and I do school assemblies, and it's always neat getting to talk in front of kids. And my guitar players always sit there and they're like, "You should really be a teacher." And like the whole singing thing doesn't work out. And I'm just like, I can't really see me being a teacher, to be honest, but I do love kids, and I don't know. Sometimes I think about it a little bit. Maybe something with writing, something with kids. I don't know, but yeah, 100% music for me.
Okay, well that's a fair answer. And speaking of that, you were talking about how you got tickled the way your teacher said she said no NFL and no pop singer. Well, I gotta tell you something funny that this happened, and this was just I don't really call it funny. I call it unusual. Whenever whenever I was in school, and I was whenever the tragic events happened on September 11th. After that happened, I was in school, and sometimes you wonder in your mind if certain people just have screws loose in their head, or if they're not thinking straight. Because I was in school and I was sitting there, after all that had happened, and we were all upset. The classroom was, and the teachers, of course, and we were thinking, well, this may be the end of the world. We didn't know what was going on. And so our school principal comes on the intercom, and he says, now I just want to let everybody know to stay calm, nobody panic, nobody worry, everybody's okay, everybody sit there, nobody's checking out, nobody fake like you're sick, nobody's going home. And we were all sitting there like, really, you're going to come on there and say something like that after something like this has happened? I mean,
Oh my God.
yeah. So we were like, what in the world is wrong with him? Coming on there and saying that to us after this has happened to our nation. I mean, we didn't even know at the time if our families were okay, or friends, out of the school, or what. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What is wrong with people?
I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, I think some people have a few screws loose up there.
I think so too, Brian. I think so too.
Yeah. So, where can the if the fans want to follow you on Twitter, or if they want to keep up with you on Facebook, or go to your official Facebook page, or follow your YouTube channel, or any other kind of multimedia outlets you got out there, where can they go to follow you at?
Yeah, I have an official website which has links to my Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, and that is stephanie-grace.com. And yeah, we have lots of photos and videos up there, and my concert schedule's up there, and like I said, links to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm pretty active on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll be honest, Twitter is not my top choice, but I still get on there as often as I can, and I'm trying to get into the habit of making more YouTube videos too. But I am on pretty much all those websites, but the ones I'm most active on are probably Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, and also, there's also another song that I listened to of yours earlier today, and I thought it was real good. Now you can correct me because I think I'm gonna be wrong on this. I'm gonna guess. I think the name of the song was you and me or something like that, or me and it was something like that. You were outside and you were singing. But I don't know what the name of it. It was on your official YouTube channel. It was on there with the song "Losing." It was on there with that as well. I mean, not losing, loser. I'm sorry, loser. It was on there with the song "Loser" as well. But I can't remember what the name of it was.
Oh, okay. Like before we went on the air, I mentioned to you about this. There's another Stephanie Grace. Like it's so frustrating because our videos will get kind of like meshed together. But I'm trying to think because I know she has a song called "Blame the Dealer" or something like that.
Let me see if I can pull it up on my end. On the YouTube. Let me see if I can pull it up and I can tell you what it is.
Yeah.
That would be probably a good idea. Let me see.
Yeah, because I can't say that I do have a song called "You and Me," and I'm trying to think if the other Stephanie Grace she might have that out there. I don't know.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Okay, yeah, let's see. Okay, you only have 10 videos on your YouTube.
Correct.
Okay, so this must have been the other one because she also because she sings a song called "Rock That Boat." You don't sing that, do you?
Nope, that's
okay,
not me.
okay. I apologize. That's the wrong Stephanie Grace.
Oh my God, no, it's hilarious. This happens all the time. I can't even tell you, and it's really funny. She's in Australia, and we've been in contact so many times because like this stuff happens all the time, and like she'll get emails that are meant for me, and I'll get Facebook posts that are meant for her. And,
oh my goodness!
I mean, our names are spelled the exact same way, and we're both like singer-songwriter brunettes, so it kind of totally normal and understandable how people can confuse our songs and videos.
Well, I'm gonna have to let Tom Kelly that runs Chasing Your Dream Radio. We were talking the other day, and I told him, I said, he said, I didn't know there was two of them. I said, yeah, and I said, you know what, I got it mixed up, never mind. And then come to find out there is two of them, so I'm gonna have to let Tom Kelly know that there's actually two of y'all. There's actually two Stephanie Graces out there.
Yeah, it's so confusing. And
wow.
Oh my God, shout out to Tom Kelly. He is wonderful. And what's neat is like he'll post on Twitter, like the songs that he's currently playing on his station. And so far I've seen all of my songs. So I think he knows like which. Well, I guess I think I sent them to him. But anyway, yeah, it's still super confusing to people with the two different. But yeah, if you search, like if you go on youtube.com/StephGrace96, that is my YouTube channel.
Okay.
That should take you directly to mine.
I'm gonna write that down right now so I don't forget. Okay, it's Steph/Grace96.
No slash, just Steph Grace 96.
Okay, Steph Grace 90. Okay.
Yeah.
And Tom Kelly, he does so much for y'all. I mean, you and other singers. I mean, if it wasn't for Tom Kelly, there's a lot of the, Tom Kelly actually recommended, whenever I was, looking for somebody, to come on shows in the singing industry, and if it wasn't for Tom Kelly, that a lot of the great singers I have on, it wouldn't be possible. I mean, I've had Katie Bill Aiken and Diamond Dixie, and a lot of other ones. And I mean, it's just it's wonderful, to be able to have them on and hear their music and and learn so much about their background and stuff.
Yes, yes. Tom's great, and what he has going there. I mean, for artists such as myself that are like just we're just getting our start, and um, it's a great platform for artists that are up and coming, and yeah, I think it's so neat that he pointed us in each other's directions, and now here we are. So yes, thank you to Tom for making this happen. But yeah, I just think it's so neat, and the way that you guys all work together too. Like I know there's some different talk shows and radio shows and stuff, and I think it's neat when you guys send artists, in each other's paths. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and also I wanted to ask you really quickly, Steph, where can the fans go? I know they probably go on iTunes and Amazon, but I mean, where can all the fans go to get your music if they want to get any of your CDs or albums?
Yeah, so on my website we actually sell like physical copies to anyone who's still into that. So again, Stephanie-Grace.com, and if you hit the store tab, you can buy. I have 2 CDs currently out, Stephanie Grace EP, and then my Life's Okay EP, and they're both, like I said, the physical copies are available there. But yeah, like all of my singles, digital singles are available on iTunes, Amazon, Rhapsody, Spotify, Google Play Store, and I currently have music up on Pandora, and I think iHeartRadio as well. So yeah,
wow.
Hopefully that's like every digital. Like I'm on a mission to get on every single digital download website.
Now I'll have to look later because I told some of the other artists this, and they didn't know this, but I know that Lisa Ballou, Lisa Ballou, Amanda Joe, Katie Bill Aiken, Diamond Dixie. I know they are all on the Xbox store on the Xbox 360. If you go to the music section on there, I know they're on there. Yeah. So what I'll do later, I'll look on there and I'll look for your name and I'll see if you're on there and I'll let you know if you're on there.
Please let me know.
I will.
That's so cool.
It is. It really is.
I hope I am. If not, we're gonna make that happen.
Yeah, that would be good to make that happen. That'd be great.
Thank you.
Because I ran across I had ran across those, and I ran across Katie Bill Aiken. I told Katie Bill Aiken, I said, did you know you're on the Xbox 360 music thing? She said, no, really? I said, yeah. She said, oh my goodness, But
that's so cool.
Yeah. But I'll be sure.
Look into that for me now.
I'll be sure and look into that and let you know. And
thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And also on your website, do you sell any other? Do you sell like shirts and caps and stuff like that? Or?
Yes, we have. I'll be honest, we are currently reordering a lot of stuff because this summer we ended up selling a lot of our popular sizes. So right now we kind of have just a few sizes and a few shirts left. But yeah, keep an eye on my website on the store page. We have T-shirts and wristbands and I think tank tops and yeah, within the next few months we'll have all new stuff. So I'm excited for that. But yeah.
Okay, well that sounds good. And Stephanie, I want to thank you so much for being on the WSE Lounge today, and I wish you the best in all you do, and I'll continue to support you and everything, and try to help you out, with sharing stuff and everything.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome.
It was a lot of fun. Please keep in touch, and I appreciate
sure will.
Supporting up-and-coming country artists. We really appreciate people like you.
You're very welcome, Stephanie. Well, you take care.
You too. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was country music singer Stephanie Grace. And as you heard, you can go to her official YouTube channel and check that out. It is Steph Grace 96. You can subscribe to that, like her videos. Go on that. Go from there and go to Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, Facebook, all those other great sites she was talking about that you can go to follow her music and everything. Want to let everybody know that this coming Thursday, September the 8th, at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be welcoming Jack London. You may have seen him appear on General Hospital during the 2016 Nurses Ball with Kiki and Dylan. He will be on the show this coming Thursday. He's also a singer. He's part of Jack and the Wild, and he'll be talking about his upcoming show, Family Circus, among other stuff. So I look forward to welcoming him. And don't forget, this coming Thursday night, I have a very big announcement for all you General Hospital fans out there, soap opera fans, coming up next Monday, September the 12th. At 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll be announcing the guests for that show this coming Thursday night. So be sure and tune into that. And I hope you enjoyed today's show with country music singer Stephanie Grace. And I hope you'll go to the page on the WSE Lounge on Facebook and like the page. And as always, I'll be keeping you up to date with all the latest happenings in the music world, soap opera world, professional wrestling, celebrities, and so on. And as always, to close out the show, let me turn it over to Mike Mooneyham.